The highest testing that I got was 800 something million, but I didn't have it. I didn't have the footage. What's up, everyone? It's HK Gaming. Today I have for you this crazy build. I call it the God build. Like, you cannot find anything that is better than this. As you can see, my damage testing, 700 millions are very common for this spell. So yeah, that's quite crazy. And the best part is that not only your melee damage that do tons of damage, also you can use your gun as well. So let's start with the skill tree first. We'll be using the Stabbomancer+Spellshot, of course, since we're relying a lot on our spell damage. And then from the shadow as the action skill, no doubt. And then we have the melee damage, spell damage, and gun damage increase here. And then follow up messed up with melee attack damage. And then we'll have 2 points here. And then all exploit the weakness with status effects. And then 3 here with the fire rate and spell damage. And then we have the sneak attack with critical hit damage. And then this one, critical hits give you bonus damage. This is a pretty reliable bonus damage, so this is a must. And then the alchemical agent with more status effect damage. And then this one, this is kind of a crazy executioner blade. Is kind of a crazy skill sheet where you can do tons of damage in a very short amount of time, or you can really do nothing since it's only a 20% chance to hit. So this still puts up your highest damage, so I would say it's worth it, but it's really not that stable, to be honest. And then we have the reload speed here, fire rate here, cooldown as well, Trapscallion for more damage, and this for more damage as well. And then for the hero stat, we'll be messing out our critical damage and the skill cooldown, a little bit of health too for better survivability, since we're relying on our action skill. So we really need that cooldown, which our item will also help us to reduce the cooldown as well. So for the items, we'll be using the spell blade, of course. This is the only way that can do the tremendous amount of damage. Melee attack now do spell damage instead of the melee damage. This is just crazy. I think it's way overpowered. And then for the guns, this is like the souls of this build. This is what makes this build into a whole other level. So on action skill start, it will increase the spell damage by 40%, what we have here. And the target takes 6% increased melee damage for each crossbow stuck in the target. So as you can see for my damage testing, I always use this for more damage. And then once you use this to start your action skill, put all your bullets in, and then switch to this weapon, and then trigger the melee attack. And this is also increasing the lightning damage when action skill is active. But this is only the melee part. The best part is that reloading this weapon can give you that guns with wings to do spell damage. So if you are, for example, if you're doing Chaos 35 or whatever, then you can use this gun. And then when you need to do the bosses, then you can use the melee weapon to one hit. Now this combination is the best. You cannot find anything better than this, I promise you. And then for the second gun, we're using the igniting wire, live wire, of course. The last bullet that you had on this gun, it will do a higher melee damage. I think we all know this, we don't have to go through a lot. And then we are after getting a melee kill, refreshes one spell charges. This is quite important. So when you are doing melee damage, you're always holding this gun to do more damage, right? So after you get a melee kill, it will refresh your spell charges as well. So for example, we are using the action skill and then we do damage. We're killing enemies, blah blah blah. So after this is done, we can trigger our spell to refresh the cooldown. As you can see, this is already here. And then we can always use melee attack to refresh 1 or 2 charges of our spell to prepare the next action skill. This is not a must, but this is quite important as well. And then the third weapon is just to do the buff with extra lightning damage. Nothing to talk about. And then the fourth gun is for us to trigger the shield, to break the shield, to break the ward, to trigger the effects of the ring. For the ring, we're using the spell damage, action skill cooldown rate, and the melee critical hit damage as well. And then for the ward, we'll be using the plus movement speed, melee damage, and the melee damage while ward is depleted as well. So when your ward is depleted, you do more damage with all 2 rings and the ward. So that's why we have this here. But usually you don't really need this. The ward break quite easily. So, and then this one we have the bonus on the fire rate and the spell damage, and all damage do as well. Most importantly, melee damage and ability damage increase by 35% of your increased spell damage. This is quite a lot of the bonus damage. And then we have the lightning damage and action skill cooldown here as well. And whenever we cast a spell, we reduce the remaining action skill cooldown by 20%. As I've mentioned, once we are done, we can trigger the buff buster to reduce the cooldown of our action skill. So this is just buff with lightning and 2 spell charges. Nothing too special about it. And then for the myth rank, it's just the same, just like before, nothing special. And I think that's it. And I'll leave the combat footage at the end. Hopefully you enjoyed the build, and that will be it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe. This will really help me to keep the channel running. I'll be making more gaming videos about guides and builds and all other games. Enjoy the combat footage, and I'll see you in the next video.